All right, so I did it. Okay, I have verified this image, and I verified this image with the Masonic ceremony of raising to the third degree. The third, or master's degree of Freemasonry, first appeared in Scotland in the 1720s and was officially recognized in England in 1738. This image right here, third degree tracing board design, 1825. Let the emblems of mortality which lie before you lead you to contemplate on your inevitable destiny, and guide your reflections to that most interesting of all human studies, the knowledge of yourself. Well, my name is Kevin Janik, and this is a very clever way of depicting a K. That's for your king. That's the dot on your J, and there's your V. So you gotta be knowing the King James Version of the Bible. What does he say? On what were you admitted? The square. What is a square? An angle of 90 degrees with the fourth part of a circle. What are the particular objects of research in this degree? The hidden mysteries of nature and science. All right, let's get going. So, this image, okay? What's that? Oh, look. That's the left hand of God of the analog tree of life next to the digital daisy or flower of life. Oh, okay, so that's there, depicting the left hand of God. Now, where's your right hand of God? Where's your digital daisy? Hey, look. You have the dirt. You have the stem that sticks up. You have your petals and your flowers that drop seeds. You have the wormhole, and you have the flower itself of the digital daisy. Not only that, you should be looking at this upside down guy, because this is the 7x7 grid, and if you use the columns on one of them, you're left with a 5x5 interior. Now the 5x5 interior would be the first. This right here depicts, you got a little first quadrant. You gotta know your OIV, or the first part of the Roman numerals that goes down and creates the heart field at the bottom of the left hand of God. The heart field on this side. On this side. And the reason I know that is because this right here is a pin with a spool of thread on it, because this signifies your 0 or your ring. This is your 1, and this is your V, your OIV, your first Roman numerals. Not only that, it says 3000 in backwards. You know, you got a 55, 55, 55. You have a 3000 backwards. Now that got my ears ringing. That 3000 something itself. Look, I'll go over the whole decode right now. Right now. So the first thing I said was, look, 3000. Awesome. Then I have a 5 and a 5 and a 5, because that's the way they're orchestrated. So I go, okay, what can you do? If you do this circle 55, you're left with a 55 times 5. A 55 times 5. A 55 times 5. Add them up together. 825. Now, 3825 subtract 3858 leaves us with 33 things on the image. There's 33. The master level masonry. 33 things we have to account for with the rest of this. Now, I'm going to show you how. So, again, left hand of God, tree. The right hand of God, the skull and crossbone, mixed with the, square kind of thing. Looks like a thermostat and a mallet. That could be the dirt with the stem. That could be the rest of the stem with the leaves to drop the seeds of their kind. And you have, obviously, the wormhole, which I have depicted here. Since, like, forever ago, guy. There's your wormhole. There's your dirt. There's your stem and leaves. And then you have the flower itself.
All in a nice little casket.
It's all there in a casket of death. Which is, yeah, again, the path creates this casket. I always thought it was an F1 race car, Formula 1 race car, because your wheel wells would be here, 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 here. But it also could be a casket. Casket to encase the daisy guy. The digital daisy. Daisy, daisy. Now here, upside down, you have an OVI, okay? Like, turn it upside down, because you get your V right. Now, this just means that you're talking about the first middle. See, this is what I was talking about. This thing right here is a 7x7, but the interior would be a 5x5. And down the middle column, or Fibonacci, is what they have depicted. They have this, the curtains are down here, it's hidden, and this is hidden, because all you need to know is the beginning. You need to know the first 4 days. In the first 4 days, you have your 69, your O, your I, and your V. You need to know that. And the capstone, that's the Anyways, you need to know the initial 4x4 of the reckoner is what this tells me. So this is an example of my reckoner. Not the path of energy, not the path of number from our celestial skies, but the reckoner itself. So image of the reckoner itself, image of the path of energy, both analog and digital. Now, again, it's the King James Version because here is the way it's depicted. You have your spool of thread, your upside down V, your pencil, the compass, pencil, and whatever that's called, spinner? Anyways, so your J with your dot on it, that's an angle bracket for the K, but there's your line for the K, and you put them together, your K, J, V. My name's Kevin Janik, and this is my version. So K plus J plus V is 43. Read it back and circle it. There's your circle 33. That's finding it one way. I don't like it. Now I said over here there's 33 things on the image. Let's just do that one first before we do the actual decode that I did with the dots and lines. So you have 6 dots and 6 lines to create the image of the coffin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 corners, and then you're in a rectangle. So your 6 dots and 6 lines, and your 4 dots and 4 lines, they sum to 20. Your never eat shredded wheat, which is 90 degrees out of phase, because you got to know about what a quarter of a circle. 20 plus 4 is 24. You have the analog tree, which counts as 1. You have all the components, like these 3 components here. This one, and this one are what are needed to make the digital daisy. So group them together, and they count as a 1. Digital daisy counts as a 1, so we have 24, 25, 26. All your 5s together, because your 55 times 5 times 3 was important, that was 1. You have your grid of 7x7 to know the inside of the reckoner, which is a 9x9. And then you have the inside of the 7x7, which is a 5x5. That is one of the components. Then you have your actual reckoner with your... that, and turn upside down, looks like the heart field of the actual reckoner, counts as 1. You have your 3000, which counts as 1. You have the grouping of ULN and J.L. I'll get to that soon. And your UC dot counts. And your things that spell KJV are grouped as 1. So what we're left with at the end of the day is 24. The tree is 1. 25. The digital daisy, 26. The 5's 27. The floor, 28. The reckoner, 29. The 3000, 30. This stuff, 31. This stuff, 32. And then finally the KJV, 33 things on the goddamn... like 33 things to look at and decode on this thing. Now, I apologize for my enthusiasm. Now, because the ULN is in a bubble. It's in a bubble within a bubble. So we're not going to actually count the U as the 21st. We're going to look at it as a 3. We're going to look at the 12th as a 3, and the 14th as a 5. So 3, 3, 5 is an 11, which is, again, the K. Then you have a J.L. Now, your J.L here, to me, J's have dots. So J is the 10th letter. It would be reduced to a 2. L is the 12th. It would be reduced to a 3. The dot circles the 2, 3, maybe as a 5. And let's use it as a 1x5 this time for a 10, which is the J. So we get your K and your J. And then you have this other element, which is outside the box, your UC dot, would be, again, 21 as a 3, 3 is a 3, and then circle them as a 7. So 11 plus 10 plus 7 is 28. We need 5. The only thing we haven't really used on here, well, the KJV part, is this V, because that dot is part of the J, that line is part of the K. This one was all on its own, and we need 5. So 28 plus 5 is 33. It sums to 3858, people. This is from 1720. Somehow, on my own, I have figured out the secrets of Freemasonry. I know my reckoner, and my path of energy, and my solar system. I even got my skull and crossbones here with the KJ and a V. Fuck. Jesus Christ.